いざ。
Alright, we're clashing swords with Kojiro Sasaki, or at least someone who's playing that role as a saber. And the swordsman readies his sword. The only stance for the man who does not have a stance. A fatal technique that cuts his enemy by simultaneously executing blows from different angles. She has experienced the move before. The previous one only had an arc to surround his enemy and a vertical slash. That is why she was able to avoid it and live up to this day. Or live up to this day. But the real technique has 3 slashes. A circular slash, a vertical slash, and probably a horizontal slash that cuts anyone that escapes sideways. There's nowhere to hide if the 3 attacks are executed all at once. Once in range, the other 2 attacks will cut you even if one is blocked. Well, what you need to do is abuse your visibility frames and dodge the right moment. Or maybe not. One cannot escape sideways, and a longsword will reach out even if one retreats. Actually, did I make that joke before? I feel like I did. you know how like in Dark Souls, or like any kind of like action game, there's always some sort of invisibility frame when you dodge. So technically, if an attack, it comes in all directions at once, as long as you stay like invincible in the dodge frame, then you should be fine. Unless, of course, the attack goes through invisibility frames, in which case you're screwed. Demonic technique, Tsubame Gaishi, or Gai-eishi. Because it's like Ga-e-shi, Gaishi, Tsubame Gaishi. A godly technique that even surpasses the servants. The ultimate attack, perfected by an anonymous swordsman using all his life. The longsword trembles. His body moves in one step. Distance to attack saber. Prison-like arcs are executed from a range that does not allow any defense. Saber does not use her holy sword. She cannot use her noble phantasm at this range. No matter how fast Saber may be, assassin Tsubame Gaishi is many times faster. Her neck will be cut the instant she puts magical energy into her sword. Therefore, her only weapon is pure technique. The blade begins its arcs. She feels despair from its precision and speed. Such an attack. How much training was needed to get this far? There's the 2 slashes. Fear is the only thing in her mind. It cannot be blocked. This technique is a technique of carnage that challenges God with mere human skill. Only God will be able to block it. A god in this universe will be Nasu, the creator of this old shebang. She gulps. There's a flash as small as a grain of sand. She does not think about what it is, nor if it is correct. She risks everything she has on her instinct, which is like A+, I think, or... oh, we can look. That's her instinct. What's Saber's instinct? It's like, skills... A, it's A. Not A+, but it's A. Whatever that means. I mean, I guess it's good. Like, A. A is good. And there's a 3rd slash. She charges at her victory with all her might. What did the fictional swordsman think of that? Silver armor passes through the gap beside his arm. The opening between the swordsman's left arm and his waist. Saber must have figured out that the small opening is the blind spot of that technique. As it turns out, there is a weakness. Even though the attack still chips off her armor, Saber curls up and flies through the opening. An exquisite skill that is only possible with her precognition, her great instinct. She was able to predict the true Tsubame Gaishi since she experienced it once. But that is not the surprising part. It is her determination that kept her alive. She trusted her insight and put her power into the slight opening. She shook off the fear that she would be slashed if she was even a moment late and charged into the small opening. Therefore, her determination is the strength that defeated the demonic technique, I guess. Her willpower. Though to be honest, I think it's more so her skill, her actual literal instinct skill. Anyway. But the match isn't over yet. Even though Tsubame Gaishi was avoided, her enemy is right beside her, and she charged in with speed quicker than the attack. It's not easy to recover her stance from such a charge. The longsword strikes. The attack is the quickest, even if it may not be as quick as the demonic technique. But her attack is a bit quicker than his. He closes his mouth. He shuts his lips tight and tenses up so that he will not fall down. Blood from his lungs fill his mouth, but he swallows it so that it will not spill out. The golden-haired girl is below him. The way of the swordsman does not allow him to dirty her with his blood. Is that a rule? I guess so. Saber does not say anything. Her golden hair flutters down to the ground. It is a wonder that her head is still attached. It is a miracle that her limbs are still attached. She felt that her body would be slashed the instant she went into that opening. It's very anime, isn't it? I mean, obviously. It's always that anime trope, or well, it's not really anime exclusively, but two swordsmen slash at each other, and then there's a pause, and then boop, one of them gets hit, right? That was the only difference. The longsword. The swordsman's technique would have stayed invincible if his longsword had not been bent. Doesn't look bent to me, but alright. Still pretty straight. Straight and narrow. The air is shaking. Another battle is still going on behind the mountain gate. Unsure of what to say, Saber looks up at the dying swordsman. To that, the swordsman tells her without looking at her. How much meaning was contained in that word? Saber pulls out her sword and runs up the stairs. She does not turn back to the swordsman. She runs to fulfill her role.
美しい小鳥だと思ったのだがな。その実、獅子の類であった。
He murmurs, as if that was to be expected. She avoided something that even a sparrow could not avoid, so she cannot be something that is admired.
女を見る目には自信があったのだが、どちらも修行不足ということか。
Is that related, or I don't know. The swordsman complains with a shrug. His elegant clothing has lost its colors already. His stomach is pierced, and his blood-stained feet are vague. He looks down at them and sits. The branches shake. The wind coming down from the top of the mountain rustles the forest. And when the flowers scatter, the wind stops, and the moon darkens. The swordsman had disappeared without a trace, as if his existence was just an illusion. At that instant, I developed the strongest weapon I have projected. Oh, we're back with Shiro, I guess. But it doesn't even serve as a shield. The sword of separation. The mysterious sword cuts through the wind, destroys 6 noble phantasms, and cuts my body apart. It's disappearing. The circuit is disconnected, and Tosaka's magical energy disperses without a place to go. I curse my worthlessness. I knew that I'm unskilled. I cursed myself for never thinking twice. Why is this all the magical energy I have? Just a bit more. If I could reach that darkness just a bit more, I could have fought like him. I fall to the ground. I fly through the air and crash to the ground with great force. I don't feel pain from the landing. I don't have such a sense anymore. And actually, what happened? I can't remember. I think, didn't Gilgamesh use Aya? He used Aya, right? We somehow are not dead. Because we... Or rather, well, I don't know. I don't know when this is gonna take... I don't know when this is taking place. But somehow we projected the Sword of Separation. What is that again? Is that... Excalibur? Or is it something else? Actually, I can't remember now. We can check. The Sword of Separation. Which one was that? I don't remember now. It doesn't show up here, I guess. We see Calibok 2, which is the little arrow that the archer uses, which is actually a big sword. I guess Durundo... I don't know. The Sword of Separation. Oh, which one was that one? I can't remember. Was that one of Saber's sword? Like Caliburn or Excalibur? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just move on. Even my mind is going blank, I guess. From all the pain, I can't remember what exactly Shiro projected. Before I die, the only thing filling my head is the surprise that my limbs are still attached.
そこまでか。やはり偽物は偽物だったな。お前では何も救えない。
My heartbeat gets weaker. My lungs do not move, rendering me unable to breathe.
これならば、アーチャーが残った方が楽しめた。
I mean, I guess so. Though Archer was pretty low on magical energy as well, so I don't know if he was strong enough to fight.
やつも贋作者だったが、その理念は俗物ではなかったからな。
I can't see anything, but it seems it's not because my eyes are broken. No, actually, was Sword of Separation... Okay, just going back again a little. Was he referring to Archer's sword? Double Phantasm? Well, we can't see it, unfortunately. Was it his Aya? Was that the Sword of Separation? I don't know. Because, I don't know, if he projected the Sword of Separation... If he's projected Aya, that would be impressive. But anyway. My organs are just too messed up to function as they should. Maybe it's fortunate. I don't have any sense of pain, so I should be able to die easily.
ああ、そういえば奴も言っていたな。お前の理念は借り物だと。自身から生み出したものが一つとしてない男が何かをなそうなどと、よくも思い上がれたものだ。
Did Archer say that? I can't remember if we actually saw Archer talk to Gilgamesh about that sort of thing. Is he gossiping behind our back? I can't do that. Even if I might go brain dead from the pain, I need to regain my consciousness. The deep part of me says so as it points to that place.
正義の味方？誰も傷つかない世界だと？おかしなことを。誰も傷つかず幸福を保つ世界などない。人間とは犠牲がなくては生を謳歌できぬ獣の名だ。平等という綺麗事は闇を直視できぬ弱者のざれ事に過ぎぬ。雑種、お前の理想とやらは醜さを覆い隠すだけの言い訳に過ぎん。
Zashu ideal for a Zashu boy. I raise my arm which should not be moving. My fallen body and my dying mind. I raise my hand to grab something, like I did on that day. I don't know what's funny, but someone's laughing. It seems like everyone in this world is laughing. A fake wish, a borrowed ideal. Someone scorning me, saying that my dream won't come true. Yes, that's exactly right. My wishes are all borrowed. I just admired the wish of wanting to help someone because it's beautiful. So there's nothing that came from within me. My body has always been driven by a curse-like obsession with helping others. That's why it's a fake. I guess, yeah, I'm getting to understand a little bit. Because I mentioned before, this idea of always helping others is like altruism, right? But like, it comes from actually caring about others. And in Shiro's case, maybe it's because like, he always helps others, not because he cares about them necessarily, but because he's just doing it because that's all he knows. You know, again, I think I said it before, but it's like a little psycho. It's like being like a bit of a psychopath. You know, ironically, even though you're trying to help others. Such an imitation cannot save anything, because he's not like, you know, feeling anything from it. Because normally you would like feel good, right? If you're helping others, you know. First of all, I'm not sure what needs to be saved, but I still felt that it's beautiful. It was not born from within me. I just saw someone save others and copied that behavior. I was empty back then. Everyone died and I could not save anyone. I could not bear the fear in front of me unless I gave up, saying that humans are weak. That's why I admired the ideal. Because it was something I did not have, and its sanctity brought tears to my eyes. Is that wrong? Is it a fake if it's not mine? Even if my wish is fake, is it wrong for it to come true? No, I don't think it's wrong. I don't care. Even if it's fake, I'll make it come true, even if it's impossible ideal. It's an impossible wish from the start, an unreachable utopia. Then, even if Emiya Shiro is a fake, what's there has to be true. I know that I can't save everything. I know that there's no help without sacrifices. I know that reality is like that because I became an adult. I know it's only an ideal, but I still continue to seek it. It's not the end after someone gets hurt. Even if the best possible outcome has someone get hurt to save many others, I still want to pursue a resolution where nobody is hurt. That there is no justice in this world, and that people die meaninglessly in reality. I don't think such words are right. And he reaches this place at the end. What I believed in. He said that he said that they're all a fake. But the one who said so followed through on his hypocrisy. And I can keep going. I don't care, even if it is fake. First of all, I'm too simple-minded to worry about such a thing. Shiro's just say he's too much of an idiot to care about such things. I make up my mind on this hill of swords, that if I can save the world in front of me, I will fight for it. I didn't even need to think about it. My world is small. This small world is all I have ever been able to create. That's right. This body of mine is made of firm swords. Yes, so I can endure most things. Emiya Shiro can keep his dream until the very end, even if what I seek is nowhere. I raise my body. I can move my limbs again as soon as my consciousness returns. My body still moves. It's a wonder that I'm still alive, let alone moving, after his attack, but I don't care. If I'm alive, there must be a reason why. It's just that I don't know why. Okay, interesting. So we did project the shield? of some sort?
存外にしぶといな、小僧。
I was wondering what happened, because the last time we saw him, he like used Aya, I think, right? And usually, you know, Aya is like one of the strongest noble phantasms ever. You would be obliterated if you were in front of it, but we somehow survived.
し惜しみそんだけ山ほど持っておいて今さら何を惜しむってんだ
I keep my distance while I catch my breath. I know how to do it now. I should be able to do it with a backup from Tosaka. The problem is the casting. Even though I have it memorized, I don't know how fast I can get it working until I try.
今のは覇者にのみ許された剣だ。
Yeah, it was Aya. It was Shura was referring to.
票が乗ったゆえ見せてやったが、本来雑種などに使うものではない。エアと打ち合う権利を持つ者はセイバーだけだ。お前のような偽物に使ってはセイバーに合わせる顔がない。
Maybe not. Maybe he like, you know, he didn't really like use it, but like summon it in general, and that was enough to knock us down. I guess. Maybe. Numerous noble phantasms appear, but they are all third-rate. The difference is obvious after seeing that previous sword. But they're not something I can take lightly. They are more than enough to kill me. The difference in our powers is the same. Even though I managed to survive the previous attack, I cannot match that servant with my projection.
ほう、真似事はおしまいか。ようやく無駄と分かったらしい。ならば潔く消えるがいい。偽物を作るその頭蓋、一片たりとも残しはせん。
The noble phantasms are released. But Seiba! A blue rushing wind repels them.
セイバーか。
You're late, Saber. Gilgamesh jumps back instantly. Even Gilgamesh is cautious against Saber. He wants to avoid hand-to-hand combat with her, as his technique is inferior.
よかった。無事ですか、シロ。遅くなりました。あとは私が受け持ちます。シロは離れて。
いやギルガメッシュは俺一人で何とかできる離れるのはそっちだセイバー
I guess we can just take Gilgamesh ourselves. Nani? Both of them are surprised.
何を言うのですシロ。
That's actually pretty funny. It's like they didn't say it at the same time. They finish each other's like nani, you know, each other's sentence. It's not really a sentence, like a phrase.
その体で彼の相手をすると。いえ、そもそも魔術師ではサーバントには太刀打ちできない。それはあなたもよく知っているでしょう。
ああけど俺とあいつだけは例外だ信じろ俺はきっとあいつに勝てる
Saber gasps. Saber is surprised because she believes my words.
セイバーは境内の裏に急いでくれ遠坂が一人で聖杯を止めてるけどあれを壊せるのはセイバーだけだ
She closes her eyes once. A few seconds. No, it's not even for a second.
ご武運を。リンは私が必ず。
She says what I want to hear the most, and steps away from Gilgamesh. Her silver armor turns away.
セイバー
I stop her just once.
お前を救うことが俺にはできなかった
And I say it. I say it in place of the one who cared for her.
あの聖杯はお前が望んでいるものじゃないと思うだからよく見極めておくんだ次は決して間違えないように
シロ。
ごめんうまく言えない俺はお前のマスターにはふさわしくなかったんだろうだから
I couldn't even figure out your true desire. I only figured that out in the Fate route, but not this route.
そんなことはない。シロは私のマスターだ。
セイバー
サーバントとして責務を果たしてきます。伝えたいことはその後に。
She runs without turning back. She is gallant and looks like the wind. Saber has left. She believed in my promise that I would win and went to save Tosaka. I guess Tosaka does need help. I guess she's like already used up all her magical energy to go through the swamp. Or the mud thing. Anyway. Let's start. I have no hesitation now. All that's left is for me to defeat the enemy in front of me. What a big smile.
正気か貴様。ただ一つの勝機を逃し、あの小娘を助けさせるだと。たわけめ。自らを犠牲にする行為など全て偽りに過ぎぬ。それを未だ悟れぬとは筋金の入った偽善者だ。ああ、それだけは称えてやろう、小僧。
The noble phantasms are set. There are about 30 of them. If I want to block them, I'll have to create it.
贋作、偽善者か。別にそういうのも悪くない。確かに、俺はフェイカーだからな。
I raise my arm. I close one eye and look inside of me.
勘違いしてた。俺の剣聖っていうのは剣を作ることじゃないんだ。そもそも俺にはそんな器用な真似なんてできっこない。
That's right. Tosaka said it too. I can only use one kind of magic. Strengthening and projection are just a byproduct of it.
そうだ。俺にできることはただ一つ。自分の心を形にすることだけだった。
Okay, interesting. It's funny because originally we thought Shiro could only do strengthening magic, and then we learned that actually projection magic was his specialty. But then actually that's also not true. What it truly is this, I guess. I grab my right arm with my left and glare at Gilgamesh.
体は剣でできている。
Japanese version, I am the bone of my sword. I cast a spell. Casting is only a suggestion to change myself. These words are to connect Emi and Shiro.
そうか。よまいごとはそこまで。
The numerous noble phantasms are released. I'll make it. This is why one of my eyes is open. I pull out a shield from the hill to block the oncoming noble phantasms. Yes, Roeas is what Archer used against Lancer. The swarm of swords batter against the shield. The shield is me myself. My body breaks up as each petal of the shield is pierced and damaged.
血は鉄で、心はガラス。
There's only one place I need to reach. The flowing power fills me to capacity in an instant. What caused this shock? Is it his noble phantasms that cannot penetrate through a single shield, or is it the magical energy in front of him?
幾度の戦場を越えて腐敗。ただの一度の敗走もなく、ただの一度の勝利もなし。
It breaks. The overflowing magical energy cannot be controlled. Magical energy 10 times the capacity of the circuit breaks its foundations trying to escape.
突破できんだと？
Blood trickles from my mouth. The shield is full of holes now. Even though the noble phantasms did not reach me, my body is full of holes. But still.
担い手はここに一人。剣の丘で鉄を打つ。
The magical energy rages around, but I don't care. This body is a circuit specialized to use this one magic from the start. And there should be more. There should be something beyond this if I can't make it with this circuit. No, it is already there. It's just that I can't see it. There's no limitation to the circuit from the start. If it was darkness, not a wall that stopped the magical energy, then the limit is somewhere beyond the darkness.
ならば我が生涯に意味はあります。
Magical energy 10 times the capacity of the circuit breaks its foundations trying to escape, and I use 100 circuits to take in 1,000 times the capacity.
この体は無限の剣でできていた。
I cast the true name. At that instant, everything breaks and everything reforms. Fire runs. The fire becomes a wall and creates a border, changing the world. A desolate land remains, a hill with numerous swords. What does he think of the scenery? The golden servant stands there with a gruesome expression.
そうだ。剣を作るんじゃない。俺は無限に剣を内包した世界を作る。それだけがエミやシロに許された魔術だった。
Unlimited blade works. A desolate land, a graveyard of swords, devoid of life. Every sword exists in this world, as swords are reproduced just at a glance. There he is. This is Emiya Shiro's world. A reality marble. He's also, I mean, it's kind of funny. He's like, oh, there's this world of magic and fantasy, you know, and servants just wearing like cool like armor, you know, like Saber's armor, and it's just us with a shirt and some jeans. So I don't know. It's the greatest forbidden magic that embodies the caster's internal world. This is heroic spirit Emiya's noble phantasm, and the only weapon I possess. Everything is here, and nothing is here. That is why this is called Unlimited Blade Works. This is the only definite answer obtained by the one who lived as a sword all his life.
こういう結果、それが貴様の能力か。
I take a step forward. Stuck in the ground next to me are the swords that are floating behind Gilgamesh.
驚くことはない。これは全て偽物だ。お前の言う取るに足らない存在だ。
I reach out my arms. The swords come out as if to accept me as their user.
だがな、偽物が本物にかなわないなんて道理はない。お前が本物だと言うなら、ことごとくを凌駕して、その存在を叩き落とそう。
I move forward. In front of me is the servant with 1,000 treasures.
行くぞ、英雄王。武器の貯蔵は十分か。
Look at us being so badass.
思い上がったな。雑誌。
The enemy opens the gate and readies numerous noble phantasms. I run across the deserted land. The two groups of swords start the final match. Status screen updated. Okay.
なんだあれは。
A saber is being surprised with a lump of flesh. But, actually, what updated, actually? Was it... Actually, was it archers? Yeah. Or, well, actually... Maybe. I guess I don't think we've seen this before. Yeah, his actual noble phantasm. Unlimited blade works. Infinite sword creation. Special magic called a reality marble, which Archer is able to use. Can duplicate any weapon he has seen, but the duplicated weapon has his rank reduced by 1. Defensive equipment is also possible, but it requires 2 or 3 to 3 times as much magical energy. Nothing else? No? I don't think so. Anything here? I don't think there's anything new here, though. Anyway. The first thing Saber sees after getting to the lake is a giant mountain of meat. It's not the edible kind of meat either, unfortunately, so Saber cannot just eat all of it. She is not a normal knight. She fought many monsters back when she was called a hero. She's even fought dragons, considered the strongest of the fantasy races. But even Saber falters against the mountain of meat. It is not because of its ugliness. It is because she can tell that the lump of meat and the curse flowing out of it are the same as her.
サーバント。召喚を間違えれば、サーバントとはあそこまで変わるものなのか。
Yeah, I was saying before, like, well, the visual novel mentioned it. The fact that this whole, like, this meat stuff is actually what is like, is a servant, right? In, or at least the raw materials of a servant anyway, I guess, you could say. Or is that the power of the Holy Grail? She stares at it and shakes her head.
リン、どこにいるのです、リン。
She runs to the lake and yells to the other side. She is hesitant to enter the black mud. It is not because it would be unpleasant. Her instincts tell her that as a half-spirit, she cannot touch it. She hears a voice. It is weak, but she hears her master. She looks at the mountain of meat and...
リン、
She steps forward without hesitation.
ダメ、セイバーは入ってこないで。
Saber stops. She stops her feet and glares the mountain of meat while holding up her sword.
リン、です。いいからダメ。その泥に触れたら、あなただってこうなるわよ。いいから、セイバーはそこで宝具の準備をして。この塊はもうすぐ弾けるわ。その前に宝具でぶった切っちゃって。
Saber cannot nod to her master's words. She can tell that the lump of meat is about to hatch. It's a hatch, like a big egg. The squirms are turning into throbs, and the mud is spreading ever further. The lake has turned black, and the mud is spilling onto the ground. That thing is growing. The world's restraining power will be activated if that thing is left alone. It is natural for her to destroy it with her holy sword. But to do that...
リン、外に。池にさえ出てしまえば、あとは私が。よね。オッケー、任せた。けどもし間に合わなかったら、間に合う方を取って。セイバーとの契約は切れちゃうけど、シローが無事ならなんとかなるでしょう。バカなことを。構いません。何に変わろうが、このような呪い蹴散らして。
Saber runs to the black mud so she can get to that lump of meat. But her body does not move. Her body stops when she tries to go near the lake.
リン、レイジョ。
Oh, did she?
当然でしょう。聖杯を壊せる唯一の人材をむざむざ死なせるわけにはいかないもの。それに心配無用だってば。この程度簡単に振り切って逃げ出すから。セイバーはそこで大船に乗ったつもりで聖剣の準備をしてなさい。
If I remember correctly, I think in the Fate route, Gilgamesh said something along the lines of how this like black mud that comes from the Holy Grail would turn a normal servant insane, so that's probably why Rin is putting such precautions on Saber to not touch it, basically. So Gilgamesh is, well, I mean, arguably, he said he's fine, even after touching the black mud, but I don't know, wanting to destroy the entire world, yeah... I think he's at least a little bit corrupted by the black mud. I would say he's just very prideful, so he doesn't admit that. She sounds calm and composed like always. But it does not need to be said that it is just a bluff. The island of meat on the other side. There's nowhere for her master to run. There she is. If like a naked Shinji, well actually he's not naked, I see pants, so actually he's only topless. She murmurs while being surrounded by arms made out of meat. The situation is hopeless. Mato Shinji was saved. She ripped off the blood vessels and nerves connected to the meat and let Shinji out. One could say he's alive, ignoring all the after effects he may have. Now he looks like he's just unconscious, so one could say that he's healthier than the girl carrying him.
問題はその後か。そりゃ心臓取られちゃ暴れるわよね。シンジを返せば見逃してくれるかな、これ。
She slowly moves while she stares at tentacles blocking her way. Tentacles, you say? But there's no exit. The tentacles are blocking the way out to the lake. Even if she escapes the tentacles trying to swallow her, she was not able to get past that wall.
まず力が。
She almost falls along with Shinji, but she desperately keeps herself up. She went through the cursed sea and even performed neurosurgery to separate Mato Shinji from the mountain of meat. She went as far as using her reserve magical energy she hadn't used for ages, but...
もうあのバカ。遠慮なしで人の魔力持ってくんだから。おかげでこっちはもうすっからかんじゃない。
I think it's Shiro. She's referring to Shiro. She bears the dizziness as she complains, but she's not serious. And it wouldn't matter even if she did have more power. The tentacles around her are not moving because their target is standing still. They should react right away once they find out that the thing is in their body is poison. Hosoka, Rin, and Mato Shinji are alive because they do not have magical energy to be consumed.
けどここまでかな。いい加減立ってるのも辛く。
The vision becomes hazy. Even though she has a foothold, she's still on the mud. Her nerves are getting further infiltrated with each passing second. She will become the new core of the Holy Grail if she falls down onto the meat. And that's what Mr. Priest wanted. But before that...
ごめんね、セイバー。言うこと聞かないだろうから無理やり聞かせる。
She has one more command spell. That's enough for her to order Saber to use her holy sword.
あと、あんたにも謝っとかないと。シンジ、助けられんか。
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much, but I guess it's kind of like we did this all for nothing if, Red went on to save Shinji and she used the command spell to kill her, like herself and Shinji, and also the vessel of the Holy Grail. So it's like, we end up not really, we end up like a net loss if that happens.
いいから走れ。そのような泣き言、聞く耳持たん。
Nani? She stops her collapsing body. That voice. The voice coming to her head is definitely that of the servant she has made a contract with. There's no time to waste. She knows his personality all too well. He told her to run, so he must have done something that she won't. So he must have done something that she won't escape it unless she does as she's told. Nani? She runs. The arrows coming down from the sky are literally a heavy rain. They destroy the tentacles, the ground, and everything in her path. There's no time to turn back. She runs full speed while carrying Shinji. She jumps into the lake. The arrows have swept the black mud away to make her an escape route. It's only for a short while, but there's only dirty water between her and the opposite shore. I guess we made it. She runs across the lake while carrying Mato Shinji. She runs with all of her might, mud splashing around her. Probably gonna need a shower after this. Her magical energy replies to the yelling voice. There's no need to check. The golden sword mouths out everything in its path with its overwhelming power. The mountain of meat is cut in half and breaks down. The black mud evaporates, and the light turns the lake into a flat field. I guess, yeah, Rin escaped, Saber used Excalibur, everything seems fine. It is a waterfall of light that illuminates everything. Bathed in the light, the swordsman accepts that her battle has ended.
これで終わり。私の戦いはここまでです。
Who did she say that to? The wielder of the holy sword is on her knees and watches the light with a flood of emotions. The Holy Grail is breaking down. The thing she sought, the thing that should have saved her. She destroyed it with her own hands and finally realized her mistake. Well, she did it twice at this point. One boy and one hero. The man that got twisted at the end of his ideal was still a boy. His regrets are so heavy that they cannot all be carried. His crimes are so deep that they cannot be atoned for. But there was something he did not give up on. The knight in red finally arrived at an answer at the very end. Then, she has to move forward as well. The end where she took her hands off of the sword. She will run past that hill under her own will.
契約は完了した。あなたたちの勝利だ、リン。
I mean, I guess. I mean, you kind of like initially the Holy Grail War is supposed to beat all the other servants and then we get a wish from the Holy Grail. So far, these past 2 times in these routes, not really. But I guess we saved the world. That's something. The Holy Sword fades away. She still has some magical energy left. She can stay in this world if she pushes herself. If she can, she would like to see what awaits them in the end.
ですが、それは私の役割ではない。シローにはリンがついていますから。
Her body continues to disappear, and the night vanishes from this world as if engulfed by the light. Like a brave gust of wind, the king that sought the Holy Grail sets off for the Hill of Destiny without leaving a trail of memories behind. Guess, yeah, Saber disappears because she used up all her magical energy. Back with Shiro, I oppose the longsword with a longsword. The swords break each other and the shards are sent flying. A curved sword appears behind him. But I pull out the curved sword by my feet faster than him, and I swing it straight at him. Gilgamesh retreats. I close the distance at once, pull out a sword and slash at him. I crash my swords against the appearing noble phantasms. I'm not thinking. My body and mind will fail if I stop. I will keep moving forward now. The instant I see his noble phantasm, I reel in the exact same one and swing it with all my might. Notice how Shiro's hair is kind of very similar to Archer's right now. The sounds of swords crashing echo through the area. Yeah, it's really loud actually. The sound effects was like the swords always crashing. It's kind of too loud. He cannot handle my attacks and has to destroy my weapon with his. That will be the cause of his defeat. He is the greatest heroic spirit, as he has over 1,000 noble phantasms at his leisure. But he is only an owner. He does not have one weapon, so he's not a wielder who can use his weapon to its maximum potential. Even in this world, I am no match against any other servants. I cannot match the ultimate one even with infinite swords. Gilgamesh must have the ability, but I do not. Therefore, this is the only servant I can match. As we have the same ability, as we are both owners, I am always one step ahead of him since my swords are there, ready to be used.
おのれおのれおのれおのれおのれおのれおのれ貴様風情によもや俺の剣を使うことになろうとは。
Gilgamesh raises his hand. The sword appearing behind him is the demonic sword, the only sword that does not exist in this world.
させるか。
I swing my twin swords. The Kancho and Bakyo reel in and strike down Gilgamesh's sword as he tries to reach for it. The weapons stop. His sword falls to the ground, leaving him defenseless. My body acts before I can think. Confident in my victory, my limbs move to slash the King of Heroes. He jumps back. Barely avoiding the twin swords, Gilgamesh retreats still further.
今はお前が強い。
Gilgamesh admits his defeat and tries to retreat.
安かったんだ。
I'll lose if he regains his composure. I have to settle the match right here.
この野郎。
He must have realized he will not be able to escape as he pulls out a noble phantasm from behind him. But I'm faster. I'll surely...
何？
Our voices overlap. The change happens in an instant. The light coming from the lake illuminates the Hill of Swords. A great magical energy has smashed away the already disappearing reality marble. But that's fine. The match is settled. I can beat this servant by slashing him with my twin swords. But after the reality marble is blown away... A black void. A void big enough to swallow a human being. It appears before me, right on Gilgamesh. What? Well, I guess, yeah, we slashed his arm away, but now it's like what is this? Gilgamesh looks down at his body in astonishment. His body's being swallowed from within. The golden serpent is swallowed by the void appearing on his body. Swirl effect. Did he want to say wait? Or mate? The void mercilessly swallows the servant. There's no way for him to escape. The void was open on his body. There's no way one can escape something that is on their body. Yeah, it's this ominous, weird, like, dark hole that we saw in the last route. I stand there, dumbfounded. The void in front of me is shrinking. I don't know what this is, but it seems Tosca and Saber were able to destroy the Holy Grail. My only guess is that the after effect created the black void to eliminate Gilgamesh. I guess we win? Everything is over. My twin swords disappear. The magical energy in me fades away. And at the same time, fatigue assails me. I want to go see how Tosaka's doing, but my body will not move. Well, I'm sure she'll be alright since Saber went to go save her. I can rest a bit. And after I take a deep breath... Nani? A chain wraps around my arm. Gilgamesh! I gasp. The chain drags my body towards the void. I put power into my body, but I can't resist. My feet slide across the ground towards the void. He's appearing from the void, but his body has been melted here and there, so that void must melt everything it swallows. I try to get the chain off of me, but it doesn't even budge. This chain even restrained Berserker. It's not something I can pry off. I'm being pulled towards it. I'll be swallowed like him if I go near that void.
たわけ、死ぬつもりなど毛頭ないわ。踏みとどまれゲロー。俺がその場に戻るまでな。
we are like a really desperate attempt for him to get out of the void, I guess. He's arrogant even in this situation. But what can I do? I can't get this chain off of me. I'll be swallowed into that void along with him. Even if I hold my ground, he'll pull himself out. Means I'm gonna die either way. Guess we'll save. I mean, taking with me? It's probably a horrible idea. Considering, like, you think about it, Shinji was the vessel and he was taken away and pretty much most of the Holy Grail was destroyed. If we go into the void, not only do we die, we might also become the new vessel in that case. And I don't know what happens after that. Probably horrible things. Or we can just stand our ground. I don't know if we even can. I don't know how heavy Gilgamesh is and how strong this pull of the void is. You know, considering we use up a lot of our magical energy and we're at our limits, can we even stand our ground? But I guess the problem is if we do actually stand our ground and then he pulls himself up, then he just punches us in the face and then we die. I guess is what Shiro's afraid of. So let's football tackle him. If we're gonna die either way, I can't let him escape. I wrap the chain further around my arm. I grab onto the chain so it won't let me go. I don't resist the pull and throw my body into the void. I guess I am. I roll down. I fall into the eternal darkness while my body is being melted away. Oops. A black mud that mercilessly eats into my body. My body is taken away, and the soul called Emiyashiro falls into the darkness. Is it because the fall was so long? I feel like I'm going up after a while, and... That was weird imagery. I'm swallowed by a big, grail-like sun. Dead end. We are dead. Bleh. Look, I wanted to see this Tiger Jojo, okay? Really? Alright. That's it. Or maybe not? Yeah, I mean, this is good advice. How to get the other endings. Yay, for completionists. Third night? Bring back on the third night. Go see how she's doing on the fifth morning. Do I need to write this down? Bring back on the third night. Fifth morning, eighth day. Hi, Dojo. 10th night,
15日目夜に道場
15th night.
素晴りすぎっす先輩
So it's literally a walkthrough. 3rd night, how she's doing on the 5th morning. 8th day of school. 10th night, 15th night. Okay, well.
これを全部抑えればいいんすねダメ抑えるのは4つ
Oh, 4 of them. Okay.
うち2つばかり選ばなくていいのが混ざっているセイバーにかまけてると12日目を超えられない
And you can't get past the 12th day, you're too occupied with Saber. Yeah, that's what happened with our initial playthrough of Unlimited Blade Works, because they didn't give enough love points to Rin. We ended up being railroaded to a dead end, so...
ありがとうございました
I mean, I guess this is what, like, I mean, this is referring to the invisible, like, bond point system, basically, in Fate Stay Night. You know, in the Fate route, you just needed to get points with Saber, but I guess in this route, you can get points with Rin, and as well as another person.
そういうことらしいんで余裕があったら3日目からやり直してみてね
3rd day. You get the good ending. Okay, and you do 4 of them. You just do 4 of them, and that's it. If you do all of them, you might get like a bad end. That's what I'm assuming. What will happen? But anyway, well, it's kind of funny because they assume you get the other ending as well. Because, well, let's see. Because there's like one ending we can get initially, and then we can get the other ending. So it's funny because we didn't get the ending yet. We just get the bad end first. But actually, let's actually get the first ending.